Hey guys, what's up? It's just Connor here. Hope you're having an amazing day as per usual. In today's video, I want to talk about why is high ticket sales, why is learning sales and selling in the high ticket sales industry, little corner of the market, that little industry, that little economy, why is that so good? Why is it such an opportunity that you should be taking advantage of right now, today? If you're not doing it, why aren't you, right? That's the question of this video. I'm going to give you some points as to why you should be doing it, right? 3 things mainly we're going to be talking about today. First thing is profit, right? Compared to all the other business models that you have seen, now they all work, by the way. E-commerce, affiliate marketing, agency, they all work. Every single mode or vehicle has its drawbacks and its pros and cons. The grass is not always greener on the other side. High ticket closing, just with being a marketing agency, affiliate marketing, dropshipping, they all have their cons, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that high ticket sales is perfect. But one thing that I will say is that if you run an e-commerce dropshipping store, you are spending money on ads and you have some degree of margin, right? Not just on the product that you're selling, but also the advertising costs as well of the product to sell the product. Now, granted, some people have some great profit margins, but generally across the board from what I've seen amongst a lot of my friends, don't give me some heat if I am wrong, but the profit margins are actually generally pretty low. When you see someone that makes $100,000 in a month in revenue for the e-commerce store, that could be maybe $15,000 a month, right? Which is a hell of a lot of risk from a delivery point of view, from a spending money on ads point of view, because typically a lot of the time you won't have the cash up front to spend on that, so you'll be spending it on a credit card, and it can be known to be sometimes risky, especially if you don't get the money back, right? Which sometimes does happen, not all the time, but as I said, people still make money with these business models. With marketing agency, you have a bunch of team, you have a lot of people you have to manage, you have a lot of expenses, right? That could be software costs. I know people that run $100, $200, $300,000 per month in revenue agencies, and they take home less than some of our guys in the RSA, right? Sometimes, literally less than $30,000 a month with such a big business, right? And of course, keep in mind, that person or that individual in hypothetical scenario might be looking to sell the business in the future, but in the short term, right, you're also not making a lot of money, right? So something to keep in mind, you do have a lot of team and costs and things like that. Same with affiliate marketing. You don't have cost of the product, but you do have the cost of advertising. So you're putting some type of risk on there and you're losing some profit that you might be able to attain. Whereas with high ticket sales, you keep 100% of it, right? Yes, you may get a small percentage, but you don't have to do delivery. You don't have to put your reputation on the line. You don't have to risk that. You don't have to manage a team. You don't have to do any delivery. You don't have to have that stress. You get on a call with somebody, you sell them, you take money, and in exchange you get paid in handsome commission checks, right? Cold hard cash, right? Which is pretty good. Compared to, again, like I've mentioned, I have many friends who are either in different business models and things like that, who again don't make as much money as you think they often would. In fact, most of my people, my close friends, guys in the RSA as well, make more money than some of the founders, some of the owners of these e-commerce stores that you've probably seen, right? Now again, I want to preface by saying this. I'm not saying you can't make money with business models. You absolutely can, and a lot of people do a lot of good money. All my friends do. But you have to keep the frame of mind that with high ticket sales, you make 100% profit, and that is it, okay? Moving on to point number 2, which is something that I don't think anybody ever talks about, because a lot of people inside my industry are younger people like myself. I'm getting old now. I'm 23 years old. But a lot of people don't actually conceptualize the risks that you're taking with some of the words that you are saying, right? The reason why high ticket sales is so good is because we are in a position in the market right now where compliance is not as much as it probably should be, right? If you guys take a look at the famous movie Wolf of Wall Street, right, with Jordan Belfort as Leonardo DiCaprio, well, the other way around. Back then, you could say literally anything. Nobody gave a fuck back then, right? You could say anything to anybody, and everything was unregulated. That's why they made so much money in such a short time frame. Yes, it was a sales skill, absolutely, but you could literally tell anybody anything about whatever and sell them on anything, especially to do with financial markets. Today, you cannot do anything close to that. You can't sell the things like you did before because the compliance has really hammered down on the importance of, again, actual ethical practices upon what you're selling, right? Now, not to say that you're going to sell things unethically, but what I mean by this is the coaching industry is in a very special spot at the moment where I don't think it's going to run on forever to where you can say these types of things in marketing. 1, 2, 3, 4 years from now, there is no way in hell that you will be able to say make 10K a month in the next 90 days. That is an income claim, right? You're making a financial income claim. So in the high ticket sales space, there's a lot of things that you can say that are unregulated and that you don't have to be super compliant with. Gonna give you an example. One of the guys inside my community is making $10,000 to $15,000 per month selling a crypto coaching offer, right? That used to work really well, and he used to do really, really well on it, and he was actually going to have a really, really good scalable opportunity to make a lot of money on that offer. But what happened is a lot of people are really starting to crack down on regulation and compliance with financial stuff, right? Because just as in the trading industry, you can't push a stock down a prospect's or a client's throat because that would be considered unethical, right? Now that is regulated, and there are certain compliancy rules and regulations that you have to stick to. In high ticket sales, as I'm seeing it at the moment, it's not as rigid as majority of the other economies are when you sell, right? There's certain things that you can say and there's certain things that you can't when you sell insurance. There's certain compliancy that you have to abide by, whereas in the coaching industry, it is very loose and it is not as tight as I honestly believe that it should be. A lot of people have gotten away with a lot of terrible things that you should not be able to say to a person in a bad position, right? Especially like these make money opportunities, which I've seen a lot of them over the past couple of years, or dating coaching, all these other type of things. There should be certain things that you should not be allowed to say, yet people are allowed to say them on sales calls, which again, like I mentioned, compared to any other industry that you look at that's mainstream, you'd never see that anywhere, right? Whereas like the coaching industry, as I've seen it, is getting a bit of a free pass at the moment, and that's not going to last forever. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4 years from now, until governments across the world, Australia, UK, US, are really going to start cracking down on these guys. Because a lot of the stuff that they're saying on sales calls and in their marketing is some pure raucous shit. It is pretty crazy from some of the claims that they are making, right? So there will be a crackdown in the future, but for now, it's a really good opportunity to take advantage of because things are a lot more loose and it is really easy to sell when you know how to do things well, and the offer has some great marketing as well. So it's super, super important to take into account. If you aren't looking out for yourself when it comes to compliance, if you are selling, please look out for yourself. If you say the wrong thing, you are accountable, and you can be taken to court. I've seen this happen, right, from people who didn't know what they were saying was borderline illegal or not compliant, considering what they were selling, right? So it's super important. Nobody talks about this, and nobody will ever talk to you about this. You need to make sure that you look out for yourself when you make yourself compliant. But as I mentioned, things are pretty loose in our industry. You can get away with a lot that you wouldn't often get away with in any other industry. Third point, scalability of income, right? In high ticket income, you have uncapped commissions, which in many different industries, besides sales, we don't typically get that. And in the high ticket sales industry, a big thing is because these coaching businesses have a lot of profit, they can pay you a good amount of money, right? There's not many industries that you'll find that you can sell a $5,000 product and get paid $500 in commission just like that, right? You need to make 5 sales a week to do $10,000 a month. Sale a day. Have a couple calls a day on a good offer. That's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Do your sales calls, run away, do whatever you want to do, travel the world, and have fun with friends. Spend it with time with your loved ones and your family. probably what you want to be doing, right? Yeah, most corporate sales jobs and other just in general jobs in general, careers and things like that, they don't give you the ability to scale your income because you're not paid in proportion of value added to the table. You're paid a salary, you're paid by the hour, and you're paid via fixed income, right? Which is super, super important to understand. With high ticket sales, because it's a meritocracy, you get paid in proportion to the value that you bring to the table. So the better you get at this, the better opportunity that you're on, the more money you can make. I'm going to give you one final example of that. I actually worked on an offer that was an 8-figure company in October last year. Very successful, doing very well. Great company and a pretty good leadership team as well. Now, there was a gentleman on that offer that was making about 50 to 60,000 USD per month doing selling and leading the team. Where else have you heard that you can do anything close to that, right? Guy was working probably about like 8 to 10, probably 10 hours a day, something like that, which is fair enough because he's earning a lot of money, right? Still, at the end of the day, he's earning a lot more than most would in an entire year. And in fact, in most people's position, he's earning someone's entire yearly salary within a month, right? There's not very many places that you probably have heard that you're able to do that. So being in high ticket sales and learning that skill of sales and utilizing it in the high ticket sales sector in that industry, it's very advantageous, right? And you can make a lot more money than you possibly could imagine, right? It is very real. I can verify it. I've done it. I have many people in my circle that have done it. Guys inside the RSA achieving that, right? Why can't you? It's a question I want you to ask yourself, right? So with that said, guys, that is why high ticket sales is such a good opportunity, not just in 2023, but 2024, but also 2025, right? One final point, do your research. Look how fast this industry is growing and how the projected estimated valuation of the industry is increasing, right? It's increasing massively. I don't know the exact number, but it's like hundreds and hundreds of billions or something like that, something crazy. Might be wrong, but again, do your own research, right? High ticket sales is one of the best opportunities and vehicles that you can take advantage of right now. You just need the right skills, the right training, the right mentor, the right guidance so that you can do this successfully. If you pick the wrong mentor, you will struggle just like I did many, many years ago. If you're unsure about what I mean by that, scroll down to one of my very first videos talking about my real, raw, and honest experience being a high ticket closer and how I got in this industry and my full story back to front. So with that said, guys, hopefully you're having an amazing day, an amazing week. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.